So, hello, Rob. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited to have this talk with you because, to be honest, I haven't really heard from you or even asked you the question before, about what lights the fire in Rob's heart.
Lights the fire in Rob's heart?
Yes. What is the driving force behind the things that you do, and I am really looking forward to hearing your story.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah, exactly. Be prepared to be surprised. They say.
By my own answers.
That what comes unexpected are gifts. So bring it on.
Yeah. What lights the fire? It's a good question, and actually, I do not have at this. I feel like in this moment in my life, it is a question which is very, very valid, because the answer is not completely clear yet. So that is
cool.
I feel like I'm in a kind of a shift, and although you know that there is still a basis in your life that you always had and that you always have and will have during the rest of your life, like certain talents or whatever that you or interests, but it feels like there is a whole lot shifting at this moment. So it is difficult, and it has always been difficult for me because I never was really into thinking about it or feeling about it or giving a kind of an expression towards it. I was always like a little bit of water, and I was just flowing around, and as long as I had a lot of people around me and there was a good atmosphere and there was harmony and such kind of things, then that's
all good.
That was all good. So what lights, and I think at the same time, with not thinking and not talking about that answer, I think I already answered the question. That is, I think harmony is very important.
There you go.
Humor is important. Laughing, I think that is definitely something that I do. Also in my work, in my life, I need to have some people around me and to try to bring it the good atmosphere so that everybody feels happy and everybody feels seen. So I think social, to be social in a way which is and at the same time I'm having I'm trying to find out so what is it? This is the basis, and what I'm gonna do with it, what do I need to do with it? That's the process I'm currently in. So
and it's beautiful that you share that, because I think that there are more people, who are asking themselves this question, like, what is, what fire do I have burning within me? Do I have a fire burning within me? Do I have a driving purpose? Some people really struggle with that. In fact, a lot of the questions I get from people is, help me find my purpose. There is something, there's something about, being human or our experience, on this earth, that we find meaning in having a purpose, right? And I think it's nice that you share that, you're still in this process of discovering, what that is, that you notice, there are like some basis things. Okay, so I enjoy connecting with people, using humor to keep things light, or to create, more harmony, in the things that you do. But what is it that I am truly passionate about? And so I want to ask you, what is really important to you? When certain things happen, maybe you can think of certain things that have happened maybe recently or in the past, where you felt this inner energy within you stand up. You know what I'm saying? Where you feel yourself rising up because your inner being is saying, hey, hang on a second. This is something that is touching my soul. This is something that feels important to me. What are those things?
Yeah, I always called myself a kind of an enabler. So I think what I really feel is one of my driving forces, is to enable other people to get the best out of them, and to help them and support them, to facilitate them in that area.
Yeah.
And I always felt that was a kind of the role I had to play in this life. But there is, I now, and this is the process also, I feel that in the word enabler, there is a kind of missing thing. And that is your own inner strength. You know, I know that I'm really good in enabling people in my work as a project manager. I enable my team. I try to enable Ariette and support Ariette in a lot of work that she's doing. So there are a lot of examples for that. But with the enabling, there is a kind of a risk that you forget yourself, so to say.
Yeah.
And there was always something that helped me away from that question. So, okay, what is it that I'm
that you want, right?
That I'm wanting.
Yeah.
So I feel at this moment that I'm shifting from an enabler more towards a placeholder or something, you know?
Yeah, or a spaceholder. Yeah. Which is what I wanted to ask you when you were talking about enabling, you know. I was that question did arise in me when I was thinking, like, you know, do you mean like holding space for someone to be able to put their full potential to use, you know? Because the word enabler can mean many things, you know. When someone, for example, is stuck in addiction, you know, where friends or family are maintaining that behavior, that is also called enabling, right? Because you're enabling someone to continue in negative behavior, or let's just call it destructive behavior. But if it's something, you know, you can also enable someone to help someone maintain the things that they're creating in the building up positive sense, you know, which is what you're saying that you're doing. So that's why I was wondering, you know, because the word enabler, it's basically just allowing and making it possible for others to keep doing what they're doing, you know. And like you said, the trap in that is that you forget yourself, maybe not even forget yourself, but perhaps like it's safer, you know, to just stand in the background, or just to, you know, be the support. I'm part of the support team or whatever, you know. It could be just like to feel more safe, so that you don't have to you know, stand up for what do you want.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know that I like the stage as well, you know. I'm not an enabler who's out of sight, behind the curtain, and just arranging all different kind of things for the people on the stage. Because I need that stage for myself as well, and it's a little bit contradiction in myself as well, that I like it to be in the center of the attention, but at the same time, if the attention is going towards me like this, you know, on a one-on-one conversation like this, I think, it's going to be about me, you know.
Oh my God.
I don't necessarily have to speak about myself and what it is.
Yeah, and I'm making you talk about all you, right? So
exactly. So it's so that is on one hand, I like it. On the other hand, I do not feel very comfortable with it. But I feel that I'm in a progress, and that is probably, it has to do with the last 2 years and the whole Corona things going on and such kind of things, that you have to make up your mind and to say, okay, this is what I am. This is where I draw the line in the sand, and this is up until here, and for the rest, you know, forget it. I'm not playing this game anymore. So so it is this last year and a half, last 2 years, they really brought that question up to the surface. Okay, what are you gonna do? You know, what is me? So and I'm trying to figure it out. And but still, it has to do with this spaceholder enabling. You know, in as my archetype as a man is the jester. So it has also to do with bringing the humor in, bringing, you know, just doing a little bit edgy, try to poke a little bit the fire in the group, or some things like that, and to try to to ask the questions which are not to be asked by everyone, because I get
you
away
dare
with it, other people don't.
Okay.
So
yeah,
that's probably a kind of my role in the whole thing. So it is a little bit on the side, enabling, supportive, but on the other hand, I need the stage as well. But I'm just figuring out what I have to do on the stage exactly.
But you said an important thing, which like struck me when you said it, was, we have to make a decision. We have to make a choice of what we want, what we're going for. And I really think in fact, for the last couple of years, that is something that collectively has really been brought into the light. Like, we need to choose, which reality are we choosing? Are we choosing the love or the fear? Are we choosing the old paradigm way of doing things, the new paradigm way of things? We need to make a decision and stand up, for having that clarity within ourselves. What am I standing for? Where am I going? Maybe not exactly the destination, but at least the direction,
Yeah, exactly.
So if I hear you saying, okay, so I'm more of the, part of my role is enabling space holding. Let me ask you this. What is it that you are passionate about within the role of space holding, of enabling? What is the outcome of doing that is important to you? What is happening in the bigger picture?
Wow, that's a difficult one. I think there's a difference between the role of the enabler there and the role of the space holder. Because the enabler, in my opinion, is very supportive towards somebody else, where the space holder is more in a kind of giving people motivation, or to get them interested, to get them motivated, to get them thinking themselves. So I think if I touch people by giving a certain example, for example. So at least what I noticed now for the last year and a half is that, I took a decision. So where I am at that moment. So I really had to choose for myself, because in this enabler, there is also, it is a very flexible behavior. I have to, I can really, how is it called in English? I can really
you can say
find my way, and to, I move with the situation. So if what other people think of me and what they expect from me, I can really adapt to it. I really adapt very easily. But now I do not anymore in this example. So I really have to stand for myself, and I hope that by just being myself and standing up, that I motivate people to think about it in that, and also to take themselves seriously in what is important for them. Yes. So I think it is being a kind of an example.
Yeah.
Which immediately sounds very big for me, but okay, but still it is. Be an example and being. I hope I can motivate people. Yeah.
And it's beautiful, the contrast also, because you're talking about, the archetype of the jester, and bringing humor and making jokes, but at the same time, you're motivating people to take themselves seriously. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but it is. Yeah. It's a thin line, isn't it? In the basis, you have to take yourself seriously, but within that serious,
with the
serious about
pinch
it,
of humor.
And yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And laugh about yourself and your own things. Yeah.
I do think it's important to laugh about ourselves or at ourselves, whatever, to be honest, that was very hard for me. Like in the past, I could not laugh at myself. I felt like the minutes people laughed about something I said or did, I immediately felt so embarrassed, and that I did something wrong, and I couldn't stand it. But now life is so much lighter if you can also just bring into the light the stuff that we do, and laugh about it, laugh at ourselves. So
I've always been good at laughing at myself, but for me the serious part was on the other side, because if you laugh at yourself, it gave me in dozens of times, it gave me an excuse not to look at yourself seriously and to reflect on it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was always, for me, it was also a very easy way of just, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's me. Haha.
Yeah.
And then, you do
exactly.
not have to reflect on yourself. So,
and that's the shadow side, right? That is the shadow,
yes.
the shadow aspect of, the jester, which is, to hide behind that mask and make jokes about everything and sarcasm and,
sarcasm, being mean, Yeah, and I recognize it. I recognize the dark side of the jester.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm not feeling very well, I feel I get a little bit more mean and negative, and even it's funny.
It is. So, Rob, if you had the opportunity now to make a wish for yourself, maybe, and in the bigger picture for humanity or whatever, what is it that you wish upon humanity, or whatever's going on in the world? Is there anything that you would like to share with others?
I wish that we stay connected as human beings, and especially in this time where the contradictions are very, so visible, and so even in all different kinds of way, with people with their parents or with their children, or with the good friends and such kind of things. But I think, and I wish that we all stay connected to each other and listen to each other and respect each other's opinion about it, and to see that if we think different on different topics, then that's not the end of the world, but it's making the world a little bit richer, because as I experienced that if I let in different meanings, different opinions, then that's a possibility to learn, from and to improve your own behavior and to your own ideas. And I think that is the challenge now, to stay connected. That is it. That's basically it, I guess.
Yeah, and stay connected. Well, what I'm sensing from what you're saying is the connection has to do with, like, on that soul level, right? The connectedness that goes beyond the opinions and what we're identifying ourselves with, and the whole concept of right and wrong and whose truth is true, that kind of thing. And can we please, please, people, can we just, keep that heart connection and see each other through those eyes, beyond all of the, the outer layers and the masks that we wear and stuff. And
exactly.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful wish, because it's so easy these days to get distracted, to get overloaded with information from all over the place, and to just keep resetting, like resetting ourselves, realigning, coming back home within ourselves and just being kind, to each other.
Exactly. Yeah. And for me, this means that before you can stay connected to the people around you, you have to stay connected to yourself, and to be curious about what you think and what you feel, and where are my fears and where are my beliefs, and what are these, and how important are these, and how flexible I am in all these things, and and how I judge over myself. And then, if you stay connected to yourself, then you can stay connected to other people. If you try to ask the same questions to yourself as you do to other people, and the other way around, then I think it should not be that complicated, although
I say this often, we somehow like making things complicated or whatever.
But we make it big, because if you look at the news, then you get annoyed by the news, and this guy is saying this and this guy is saying that, and blah 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 blah.
We feed it, right?
But the only thing that has to do is if I meet you, I have to stay connected with you, and if you just take
yes, Rob, you have to. You have to do that.
So you have to, you just have to take it very personal and to stay connected with all the individuals, with all the human beings that you meet in the street and whatever. And
so like we have to stay personally connected and without taking things personally.
Exactly. Yeah, and sometimes it's okay to take things personally, as long as you are open to stay connected within yourself with all the feedback that you get. Sometimes you take it personally, but it's not saying anything about you, but on the other, but it's okay. But
I have one more. It is. You can say that again. I think to say the very least, that's interesting. Interesting times. Yes. But I have a question that just, pops into my mind right now. And I don't know if you know the answer, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to ask it anyway. Mm-hmm. Imagine that you were incapable of having fears about anything. And imagine that absolutely everything and anything were possible. There are no limitations, no yes buts, no doubts. And in that space of infinite possibility, what would you still like to experience during your stay here on the earth?
I think, wow, that's a difficult one. I think to be able to completely 100% love unconditionally.
Yeah. I think that would be a very incredible experience, because you know what, now that you say that, I've thought of this before. We speak of unconditional love a lot. I do too. But I can honestly say I have not reached 100% unconditional love. There are definitely things, even about myself, or things in life that I do not yet love unconditionally. I do have aspects of unconditional love, not that 100%. There's still, even if it's these little tiny little things or details, it's it's something. It's something that's a next level of mastery. That 100% unconditional love. So and then what, Rob? Then what? Once you've experienced that, then what will we do? What will we do then?
And I think
will we dissolve?
It would be 100% unconditional love for yourself. That would be a good start, and that should be the start before you get
absolutely
100% unconditional love for another person.
It's the only way.
Although sometimes I have the feeling that I'm more capable of unconditionally love my wife instead of myself. But I know it is the other way around. But sometimes what's going on inside of me. Wow. And I don't know. Maybe I just smile from ear to ear, or even beyond. That bloop, and then your face fell out because.
Because your smile got so big. It's like, oh my God, I just lost my face. But it's a tricky thing, because when everything is going the way we want, when everything's the way we like, when we look the way we like, when things are good and flowing, it's easy to say, I have unconditional love because I love everything, that's going on. But to test that thought, within our own minds, if we were to completely change something about our appearance, or completely change something about our life, or the way our partners are towards us. For example, like if I have a very loving partner, I can say, oh, you know, I love him or her unconditionally. But what if that person was completely different and was really mean or abusive or something? Can you still do that? So sometimes, you know, if we think we are in that space of unconditional love, it's often because things are the way we like it and want it to be, you know, and we're trying our best to keep it, you know, that way, because I love it the way it is, like this, you know. But would we still have that feeling if things were completely, you know, different? We might be challenged in those ways, which happens, you know, life challenges us all the time. All the time. To keep mastering and growing into next levels of loving unconditionally. So I for sure am still on that journey. So thank you for bringing that in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you sharing yourself and your mind and your heart with me. And anyone who watches this, and even beyond, you know, it's like what I tell everyone, you know, during these meetings, is that everything that happens on that consciousness level, that, you know, that we are broadcasting out, it's a message and an energy of rising up to become focused, you know, on what we still desire to do from the very burning fire of our souls, and, you know, to put our energy and focus on those things, instead of feeding too much the daily distractions and, you know, the whole story. So thank you for your part in this, Rob.
And thank you for your part in this, and thanks for this great initiative that you're doing. I like the theme that you know, just 2 or 3 simple questions.
Well, simple questions.
Simple questions, difficult answers maybe, or whatever. Interesting answers at least. But I really like the way you did set this up. So it's very interesting to it is a great chance to get to know a lot of people, and to see the conversations. And this is about staying connected, you know. We were talking about the connection, but this is just asking 2 or 3 questions to people, and to hear them, and to listen to them. And so I really like this. So
and everyone has, you know, has such a beautiful message to share, you know, and we are here on this earth in our own unique frequency, with our own unique blueprints, and we are here to bring what only each one of us individually can bring, you know. It's just, it's so mind-blowing still every time I think about it, that never in the history of existence, or now, or will there ever be a being like you, like me, like anyone, you know. And this is it's just so beautiful and unique to want to explore who we are and different aspects of ourselves, you know, to be authentic, to break free from all the layers of false self, and to connect. Speaking of connection, you know, you're talking about connecting with yourself. I want to connect with what is important to me. What are the things I love about life? What makes me smile? What, you know, ignites my inner light? I want to feel those things, and I want that to be my guidance. I want that to lead the way, because, you know, follow your joy, follow your inner fire, and I think that's the best path to follow.
Good. Yeah, I like it. I like the whole setup, and the short interviews, the nice connection. So thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you too, and see you soon, and sending you and Arietta and all the girls my love.
I will.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Bye, Rob.
Bye-bye.